live from Music City. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, professional, international, aspirational, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the Afternoon Swing Trading Floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. What's going on, folks, from around the globe? Hope everyone's doing simply splendid. Dr. Falconium says dropping bars. Add a little bit to the intro. You know it. Thanks for noticing. I appreciate it. Frank says hello. JL says you got more swag than usual. Oh, man. I'm all pumped up. That's why. Cheryl says, you get my voicemail. I saw a voicemail from you. I have not gotten a chance to listen to it yet, but it is in the queue to be responded to. So, yes, ma'am. It is there. Yep, my pleasure. All right, team. Well, a lot of things to update on, a lot of things to chat about. I am sure you were looking forward to today, and we will be discussing it for the next 59 minutes about what we're doing here. First and foremost, obvious, phenomenal day on the SPY for bearish day traders. We did close below 273.38. And I'm not saying we weren't supposed to, but we really weren't supposed to. I mean, it should have just done this, and off to the races. That's what should have happened. So since it didn't happen, you got a good volume spike. Obviously, we did trade into the 100. Now, I haven't moved this purple line. So this purple line is the retest. We retested the 100. We've retested the little trend line. So I can say with a decent high degree of certainty that we're going to be pretty choppy for the rest of the summer. June's like only a few days away. July, August, September, we're going to see a lot of choppiness. Just to remind everyone, really the best way to trade this chop as we go sideways is to be fast, in and out. If that's day trading or just short swings, short-term swings, I should say, those are going to be really key. Option selling is going to start getting pretty exciting for my option fans, and of course, just holding on to your long terms. So usually, sideways things and momentums and bearish moves can sometimes get scary, especially throughout the course of a year. But again, if you have longer term stuff, depending on your time frame, your age, and count size, and all that stuff, you know that there are going to be years where we go sideways, and that's okay. That's expected. That will just simply happen. Here's the weekly chart. And we got to remember that 2016, 2017 was an incredibly incredible 2 years. And then we went sideways. And we're going sideways for a while. So sideways markets are designed to just chop traders to shreds. And usually, and unfortunately, traders will get in right before a sideways market begins, like right up here. And that's because it's not exciting. It's boring when it trades sideways. So think about that. When the market is sideways for a year and a half, 2 years, it's choppy, it's volatile, it's up, it's down, it really has no direction. It bores traders to tears, right? It's that distributing, and they get uninterested. People lose interest. They go, oh, this stock market thing, this is dumb. So they kind of just say, all right, well, we'll just throw this to the side and let's not care about it. And then when it breaks out of here, when it breaks out, it's just that's the move that you get, and that's what's super exciting. Now, so Sharon's saying, who's designing these markets to do this? Well, that's the cool news. Is it's honestly just sentiment. It's the people that get in too late to the crowd, and they are just the ones who, as the market is moving, you have people from all over the world who just at random times decide to buy and decide to sell. And you have a lot of just random fluctuations. So again, very similar to, let's say you go surfing, on an ocean wave. Sometimes you're going to have some waves that are better than others. Some waves aren't going to do something very well. And if you are getting into a wave, you can still crash, and it could be super intense and you get hurt or something of that nature. So, bottom line is this is the natural ebb and flow of the market. Nothing's going to go up forever. Nothing's going to go down forever, and it's pretty exciting. Ram says, isn't distribution generally bearish in selling? I mean, yes. I mean, that's what you got right here in red. You got that drop. You got this drop right here. You're getting big drops, and you're getting selling. So, yes, I mean, distribution, you have selling, of course. Absolutely. And so we're getting that. We're getting selling. We're not getting just buying. I mean, throughout here, this was just easy, 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 easy. And now this is going to be a little bit harder. Again, if I zoom out, I continue zooming out a little bit. Zoom, zoom, zoom. So we can see some similar patterns. I mean, if let me just turn off those long terms for a second. So if we go out here, and I know it sounds crazy, but like, 2009, 2010, pretty clean for the most part. And then you had a year of very distribution, nice little cleanness. You got pretty much a year and a half of distribution. And then we had a phenomenal bull market from mid 2012 to really mid 2015. So 3 good years. And then you had a lot of sideways chop for pretty much all of 2 years. And then you had a phenomenal bullish 2 years again. I mean, that's incredible. And so now we're going to be entering this distribution phase where we hang out here while we chop around to eventually most likely go higher into a wave 5 where we make new all-time highs. And guess what's going to happen? We'll make new all-time highs, and all the people will hop on who are not on now, and then we'll get more distribution like we're getting now. So, I mean, that's the timing of the market, figuring out where we are and what phase of the market that we're in. And, we're going to be in distribution for a little bit longer. Now, can we just bounce out of here and have a huge bullish day tomorrow? Absolutely. So that's what's exciting about this point is it really is going to be a lot of fast movements. So again, day traders are going to have a blast. Option sellers are going to have a lot of fun. Swing traders, if you're trading something and you're holding it for days to weeks, make sure try to do your best to make sure it looks a lot different than that broader market time frame. Make sure it's kind of doing its own thing and singing its own song and dancing to the rhythm of its own drum, so to speak, and kind of play it accordingly. And obviously that's what I'm doing. I'll do my absolute best to help you with all of that. I know that there's so much going on all the time. One candle can change everything. Today was one of those days where a lot did change. And I will go through as many things as I can today on some updates and talk about what we got going on. That there was a lot that happened today for sure. So let's really dive in. We're going to look at the other indices really quick. So the IWM pulling back strongly. So this is a wave, I would almost argue a wave 4. So yes, still about buying the dip, but I think the dip is going to be early July on most things. I'm not saying it can't happen right now, but it would make a lot of sense for IWM to get something like this, a little bit something like that, and then we continue higher. So for most stocks, a lot of them, this is really the only good pullback we've gotten in the last month and a half, 2 months. So you have up days, you have down days. And this is a down day. So yeah, be looking at buying some dips. And I would say since the broader markets are still being very choppy, just put it a little bit lower than you think it might get to, just in case it gets there, because there's going to be a lot of wild swings, and that's going to be pretty interesting. And, we'll see what we get. So that's the IWM. Next Mentorship Monday is not this upcoming Monday, but the Monday after that. So we'll be talking a lot about options and stuff of that nature as well. But, if we zoom into the hourly chart on the IWM, I really do think, as I just mentioned and just drew in here a second ago, I really do think that we trade back up into here a little bit and then probably roll over again, make a little bit of a lower low, and then bounce. Again, I'm not bearish. This is not the top of the market, at least in my opinion. The thing is, we're still in a bullish market because IWM is making new all-time highs. The Qs are making new all-time highs. It's just the Dow and the S&P. And really, we've only had 3 days of selling in a row for the most part on the markets. Now, the Qs today, this gap, look at this 5-minute chart. Oh, wow. Speechless. That's like free Snicker bars for the rest of your life. That's how good that is right there. Type in a 1 if you can clearly see where you should have gotten in bearish on the Qs. Even if you didn't, it's okay. The cool news is this pattern will be here again. It's not the first time it's happened. It won't be the last. But your entry would have been right below the low of that white candle with a stop right above that white candle. That's it. Too easy. The SPY had the exact same one. Right? Had the exact same one. Matt says it's too pricey for me. Nah. 10 shares short, 5 shares short, buy options. I mean, you can buy an option for $100, $50, $60. Very affordable, man. Very affordable. So anyway, yeah, the Qs, I mean, that was a beautiful move. And you have this candle right here that broke down. You had a retest that broke down. You had this pull back into the 10 that rolled over. And there's like, so what happened is when I took over the morning room, we were right here in the market. That's where we were, and everyone was all excited. And this right here was a divergence. That was just to make sure everyone who hadn't got bearish, just to make sure that it goes higher. But yeah, so realistically, this particular level, I mean, this red circle, that's when everyone was just really, really excited, and they thought the markets were going to continue. It's like, all right, this is where we need to slow down, because look at the Qs, and I could have seen numerous instances where we should have already gotten embarrassed. And so if you're not, you need to be waiting. Because if we go to the daily chart and we pull up we trade to the 50, we trade to this blue line that I've been to. We've been to this line, we've kept this line on the charts for a very long time. It's a phenomenal gap, very good opportunity. And again, if I just go back to the SPY for a second, I'll show you this 5-minute candle. I mean, look at that. Gosh. One of the situations where you have no idea if it's going to work, but it's a great gap right below support. Just beautiful. And then the Dow Jones obviously fell out of bed as well. And the Dow coming back down to some moving averages, it's below the 200. And so now, since we again are being choppy and being sideways, what's really important to know and to understand, at least in my opinion, is in sideways markets, moving averages on the short term mean a lot less, right? So if you're using these moving averages on the daily, for now, on most of the indices, like let's say most of the indices, on the SPY and the Dow Jones, you're going to be using longer term averages, or as I mentioned, very short term, or oscillators of some kind if you use indicators. You don't have to. But I'm simply saying if you want to use indicators, moving averages like the 10, 20, and 50 as we're going sideways are going to help zero. Zero. So don't even put them on your charts for here on out until I say otherwise. It won't even matter. Long term, they could work. And again, short term, like if you're going into the hourly, playing something really nice on the hourly chart, those can certainly help. Because again, you're going to be getting in and getting out so fast. So here's the hourly time frame on the Dow Jones. And if you're playing the hourly chart, black candle gapping down, retest gap, retest into the moving averages, you're probably shorting there, stop above here somewhere, and then it fails to 10 again, and then it fails to 10 to 20, fails to 10 to 20. Now it's out of support. So now this is probably when we bounce a little bit. So again, if you're using short-term averages, something like this, you can play some kind of a quick ins and out. But the daily for right now, it's probably going to just ignore them. If you want to use an indicator oscillator like stochastics or MACD or RSI, you can. I'm not going to do a lot personally. Candlestick support and resistance, but you guys get the picture. It's sideways. I'll be here to help navigate you. We'll do our absolute best to find some really good trades. Type in 2 if all is good. If you have any questions, let me know, and then we'll hop in. All right, good stuff. And again, you have all the rest of the day, all week. You are the ones who took up and stepped up and took action. I want to applaud you, my friends. Even today, there are plenty of people that still think that it's just like, no way, there's no way real life trading is real. There's no way this guy's actually teaching a class every day. They hear sales pitches all the time from all manners of people, and they just get bamboozled. So I get it. I understand. I just want to say thank you. I don't think it has anything to do with trusting me. It has just everything to do with understanding that you want to grow and become better, because this skill is something you can use the rest of your life. the rest of your life. And if I can do one thing and one thing only, I'm going to try to help you change your mindset. If I can do anything, I'm going to do that. I'm going to help you grow a little bit. Go forward rather than backwards. Never go backwards. That's what we're going to. That's what we're working on. Ron says, happy to join. How do I get a real life trading shirt? It's funny that you mentioned that. So 4th of July is coming up, and this is going to be happening. I'll be sending out some shirt stuff actually pretty soon, within 72 hours, Rod. So keep hold of that. Thank you for asking, but yes, it's going to be happening. Pat says, mindset, probably what I need. It's what we all need. It's not just you, my friend, I promise. It's not just me, it's everyone. We can always grow our mindset. So if I can do one thing, I'm going to help you change your mindset a little bit. That's something that we're going to work on, and it's going to be great. So anyway, that's the broader markets. We definitely have Dropbox on the list. We're going to get to that one. Let's go look at SOGO. And SOGO, let's kind of review this one. And so this one obviously looks a little bit different than the broader markets. It did trade down to the 50 EMA. 50 EMA obviously didn't bounce off the 20 or the 10. And it was just at a very obvious resistance, right? So for me, looking at this trade, I mean, remember, it went from $9 to $14. I'm not that great at math. That's $5 or around 50% in like a month and a half. That's a lot. Especially you can look at the chart and see that that's a lot. So when it closed above this resistance right here, I mean, I day traded it bullish on this day. So I day traded bullish. I know why people are going bullish up there. And then when it closed above there, how do you think they felt on this day? They were trapped, right? That's the trapping candle. That's when everyone got stopped out. Everyone's stops are right there. So today, what's likely occurring is this is probably the bounce zone on SOGO. I was looking at doing some put sales. I was looking at trying to get in bullish. I really wanted it at 10. So I'm going to draw my particular plan or my personal plan on SOGO. This is what I'm going to do. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I think it will. And if it doesn't, I'll just wait a week or two and I'll trade it again later. Remember, folks, one of the things I'm okay at is just not being too upset about all the trades that are going on. You know, even if you're trading for a living, remember, all you need is that one good trade. So here's what I'm going to plan for it to do. That's what I think SOGO is going to do. I'm going to wait for that. So Matt says, black bearish retest cap, I think it retests and goes lower. I think so too. So I'm going to kind of plan on SOGO to do something of that nature. Why the purple line? I mean, it's the support where it bounced off of before. That's really the breakout level, and that's near the 100. What if it just rips forward from here and you're already in bullish? Remember, folks, just because I come up with a plan doesn't mean it's what's going to happen. Sometimes it's the case. But the biggest thing to do, and the biggest takeaway from my analysis is going to be how I'm thinking about things and what I'm looking at them and how I approach them. Once you master that, you can have your plan, whatever your plan will be. And if your plan's, I'm going to buy the bounce off the 50, but Jeremy expects it to roll lower and I'm already in, should I get out? And the answer is no. If you planned on buying it off the 50, it's here at the 50. If you've already gotten in, what if it just does this? And I'm wrong. So I'm right 50% of the time with my analysis. Over a long period of time, I'm right a lot higher than that, but short term is definitely 50%. So take everything I say with a grain of salt, ladies and gentlemen. There will be situations where I'll be more confident than others on what's going to happen. On SOGO, this might not occur, but if it does, I'll be looking at trading it. Like I said, I could have certainly, I mean, we all certainly did not buy up here. So I had a few emails like, hey, should I sell up here? What should I do? I'm in shares. I was like, yeah, you should be getting out. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. But from here, I don't know. We'll have to see. Matt says, when do we change plans? What do you mean? Give me a little bit more context to that question. I'll definitely answer it. Okay, that's my thoughts on SOGO. Again, just kind of my plan of what I got. Matt says, if it goes higher tomorrow, do we change the plan? Oh, gotcha. So on this one, yeah, pretty much in any time I become obviously wrong. So on SOGO, this is kind of my thought. So tomorrow, if we get this, and then we get this, and we get this, and we get this, I'm obviously wrong. But I'm still not going to buy there. So I would still wait for the rotation over, and then I would look to start planning this dip. So once we really break above that blue line in a serious way, once we really take out that, what I think is going to be the retest, close above there, or once this pattern changes, that's how I know when I'm wrong, because this is what I want it to do. So once my plan for the future becomes inadequate, then I adjust for the next week, for the next day. So yeah, so if we like tomorrow do this, and if you guys bought off the 50 made money, congrats. If that happens, I will change this plan and I'll look for it to pull back and then I'll buy that dip. Does that make sense, Matt? So the thing with Mr. Squiggles, believe it or not, any one of you can draw one of these lines. It's very simple. And you can just say, this is what I want it to do, like the rotation, the timing. So that when your line can be just straight down. So you go, this is what I want it to do. And then if it trades down here, then I'll buy it. That's okay. And then if it doesn't do that, then cancel and adjust, because you're going to be wrong pretty frequently. So just get used to it. Great questions. This was the stock that honestly frustrated me for sure, because I got into this trade bearish. When the market was going down, this was going higher. I got in here, stopped there, got stopped out by pennies, only for it to rotate lower again, which is exciting. That means that I donated money to someone else who was a little bit better than me in that stop placement. So I did lose on GES, and I lost on AMAT today, so we'll talk about that in just a second. But if I zoom into an hourly chart on GES, we're out of support. So for anyone looking at playing it, here's what would be interesting to me is really this candle. I mean, you could be looking at going bullish or bearish based on this candle. Bearish stop limit. So this is the hourly chart that we're looking at right here. And if we broke this support level right there, it'd probably be a little bit more on the bearish frequency. And if we bounce off of this support, it'd be a little bit more of the bullish frequency. I haven't played GES since I got stopped out. I do like this little move. And what will be super exciting is if tomorrow we gapped down below that low, that would be killer. But this is a very cute candle, and this will just simply help you know, hey, if it breaks higher, we can go bullish. If it breaks down, we can go bearish. I'm going to look at this one again tomorrow. If we get an inside day candle tomorrow, then I might set up GES for a second time. So that's guess. It's kind of my plan. We'll just look at it again tomorrow. NEPT, Neptune Technologies, again, really pretty decent bullish gap right there. A little bit of a cheaper, kind of like a penny stock, speculative flare, obviously. Pulling into the moving averages. I could see it come back down to 310. What I'm trying to figure out is this a flash in the pan or is this legit? Like, can we actually play this bounce for some good moves? And the only way I'm going to figure that out is to play it once. And if it works, cool. And if it doesn't, so I'm going to put this on the list for Thursday. And if everything still looks good Thursday and the volume is still here and it looks okay, I might set up a trade on it. But for those who are trading it, I do think we could come down really to 310 on Neptune Technologies and Bioresources. My buddy Rams' earnings is close. So GES, how it is August 22nd, at least according to Thinkorswim, but it's been wrong numerous times before. Yeah, we'll come back to it Thursday. If earnings really are in August, we could play something between now and then. I do like the gap. I like the volume. That's really what I'm keeping tabs on. It did hit the 50 today on the hourly. So that is something to at least keep your eyes on for the person who requested this one. You have a bullish gap and go right there. You have a bullish gap and go right there. You have a retracement to resistance. You're at the 50. It's a cheaper stock, so your wiggle room is a lot less. Yeah, I mean, if it bounces higher and moves up, look to play bullish. So that's Neptune Technologies. No trade setup or anything for me there. Next on the list is U.S. Steel, ticker symbol EX. Okay, done with that. So U.S. Steel, man, talk about volatile. Wow. So look at these moving averages. Again, these moving averages are going blissfully sideways. So I was looking at potentially the other day doing an option sale on U.S. Steel, like a put sale or something. Premium is getting a little bit better. Ben says play the channel. Yep, and the cool part is it's back to the channel. So if I turn the long-term moving averages, what we will see is it's traded right down to the 200. So the cool part is what we have to figure out is it going to bounce again? Can it bounce? You know, what's going to end up happening specifically? That part I'm not entirely sure, but my overall thought process is one thing's going to happen for sure. X gon' give it to you. A new soundbite over the weekend. Have to do that one again. X gon' give it to you. That's right. So anyway, U.S. Steel out of support, 200 simple moving average. That's all I have at the present moment in time. I'm looking to do a $30 put sale. This could be a nice little head and shoulders pattern, though. Let me see these long terms. Ah, there's that 100. Yeah. So I'm thinking I have some room for some put sales because I'm out of my credit spreads. I got to talk about that with you all today. It'll either be the 29 or the 30 July. Because I play U.S. Steel pretty frequently, so I really don't mind owning shares if it's 29 or 30. However, this one is a volatile little monster. This is the 15-minute chart. So as Ben says, play the channel. Look at this double bottom trying to form. Now, I remember, and trust me, I know, we all can't be in everything. So if you're like, well, Jeremy, I don't want to play U.S. Steel, don't. Not a problem. What if you like U.S. Steel? What if you like volatility? What if you are a more active trader? You're better at it. You got good flow. You get it. Then play it. Thomas says, naked puts just seems scary. Maybe not likely, but a market crash could kill your account. No. It could if you don't mitigate risk correctly. So I ask you this question, Thomas. What is the difference between a put sale and owning shares? Here's one of those mindset changes that we're going to be talking about. The difference, my friend, is nothing. Because when you talk about leverage, yeah, you can leverage a lot, but you can also leverage shares a lot, right? I mean, you can lose more money than you own with just regular good old 1-2 margin. So, for example, if I do a put sale at $29, I do 3 contracts. That's 300 shares. I get paid $90 to do that trade. I mean, it's the exact same risk profile as me buying 300 shares of U.S. Steel. If it goes to zero, I'm going to lose $9 grandish. If U.S. Steel went to zero, that's the exact same risk that I have on the put sale if U.S. Steel goes to zero. What you're talking about, Thomas, and you're absolutely correct. Yeah, it's all about the sizing and the risk mitigation, my good friend. Because what you're thinking is what a lot of other companies do is they go, oh, great, there's premium down here. Let me do 100 contracts and margin the hell out of this thing. Well, there's one problem with that. Woo! That's a That's a lot of contracts. That's 10,000 shares. I hope you're ready. That's what a lot of people do, Thomas, when you're talking about blowing up your account. Yes, sir. Yes, sirree. You are correct. I teach put sales a little bit different than most people. So I'm glad you asked, but yep, I'm totally comfortable with it. I care about one thing and one thing only when it comes to trading, and that is going to be risk mitigation. I have a trivia question. I would love to know who can answer this question. I'm excited to see who knows the answer. So I was at a trading conference this weekend, as you all know, in Orlando. How many times was risk mitigation brought up? Any guesses, maybe? Maybe you guys want to take a stab at it? I would say one by Latoya. Yeah. So Latoya chat about it. Everyone else, pretty much zero, pretty much zilch, unfortunately. And I mean, it's just unfortunate, I guess. You know, after at the mixer, when you were afterwards, like people are talking about it, you know, talking about what was going on. I just walked up to a bunch of people and I was just asking them a question. I go, hey, so how do you mitigate your risk? And like, oh, I just put my stop low, you know, blah, blah, blah. I was like, that's cool. How much are you going to lose on a trade? Blank stares. Every single person. Every person. Blank stares. I got my mental stop. I'm like, well, how much money are you going to lose if you're wrong? I mean, you know, it just depends on my size. I'm like, okay, well, how much is your size going to be? Well, I mean, it depends on how the gap is moving, like, you know, how it's trading, like if it's a good gap or bad gap. How do you determine a good gap versus a bad gap? Oh, I mean, you know, momentum, size of the gap, I mean, people are getting in. Okay, so how much money are you going to make? Oh, man, I try to make like $2,000, $3,000 a day. All right, that's cool. So how much are you risking to make that much money? I'm hard-nosed when I'm talking. I mean, now the good news is I didn't just let them walk away. I was like, hey, man, here's my card. Call me. Here's my website. Let me at least teach you about risk. I mean, let me at least teach you how to mitigate yourself appropriately. Yeah, so it's a shame. Now, I'm going to other risk programs. I'm gonna go to other ones, but I was telling the day trading room today, if you guys ever do go to a trading conference and you ask them about an R, no idea. No one covers because it's just flabbergasting. So anyway, that was kind of my experience. The good news is it pumped me up though in a big way. It got me really excited because there's so many traders there, just so eager for really good information about the markets. So get ready, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming out the gate. It's going to be really fun. I'm going to start creating so much more videos and so much more content. It's going to be incredible. Peter says, Jeremy, you just understand, you put your whole account on the line if you want to make it big in this business. Dude, well, that's what Thomas was talking about earlier. No, Thomas, and again, I appreciate you bringing that up because you're absolutely right. The thing is, if you want to make money in trading, they're like, well, let's just risk a lot. Yeah, you're right. But what if it doesn't work? Because there will be that time where it doesn't work. I mean, you can have your entire account invested into trades, but do you have your entire account risked? I mean, that's a whole different, because yeah, you can margin put sales big time if you overextend yourself. Jacob says, but it's about consistent returns, not one trade to get rich quick. Yep, exactly. And that's the unfortunate part is, man, nobody wants to hear that. Well, very, very few. Nobody wants to hear that. And I get it, but that's it, man. That's what we have to do. We have to do it. Slow, slow and steady. I'm not the biggest Jim Cramer fan, but I do like the book, Get Rich Slowly. Slow and steady wins the race. I'm never going to be the flashy guy in the trading conference, you know, making $50,000 a day, which has happened, but I'm just saying I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to go, how much did I lose? You know? Let's just keep slowly grinding, ladies and gentlemen. Grind City. Grind City. So AMD. JL got triggered into AMD today. He posted his trade setup in Slack. Do you guys like Slack so far? Are you enjoying it? I know it's still new. Melanie, oh, that's awesome. Taking some family time. Love it. So yeah, I'm glad you guys are doing this. Anyway, JL, I was trying to find his trade setup. Where is JL? There it is. So here's his post on AMD. Got his entry, got his stop. This is a classic setup. No target, just limit, just entry and stop, which is great. I mean, that's because targets, you know, for the first few days or weeks, it's like, who cares? Go as high as you want. This is really all you need at some point to have on your chart. Because the stop, I mean, you know, entry, what if it goes to 100 tomorrow? You know, who knows? But anyway, I like this wave 4. Mostly what's going to be happening is likely we'll have that wave 4 structure where we're going to chop around in here for a little bit longer and kind of rock it out from there. JL says it's $30 target. Cool, man. So here's the weekly, and it's a really good retest of the channel. It's a great retest, nice evening star on the weekly. But yeah, just let it chill out for a bit. So I did do a put sale on MU today. And Advanced Micro Devices, I don't know if I'm going to do a put sale on it because they're kind of similar, but I might. There is some money around 13 for July. But if I didn't get in today, I might have already missed it. So, yeah, anyway, AMD, great pullback. I won a bet with somebody on StockTwits. You know, because that matters. But when I posted this chart, they were like, there's no way it's going to break below, what was it, 1540? Something like that. I was like, would you like to make a bet? Are you up for a bet? They got it. I was told no. No bet. AMD need to pull back, so I'm glad it did. Nice little rest. Lockheed Martin. LMT. It's like a LIT. It's an LMT. Less hangovers, this stock. Lockheed Martin. Some interesting volume today. I bet it made a new low, didn't it? It did. Ah, this is where everyone went on bearish. Okay. So we made a new low relative to this candle over here on August 21st. So this is probably where everyone shorts the breakout. Most likely, which is probably wrong. 100 on a weekly is at 290. So obviously it could get there. Might not though. I'd be looking for Lockheed, again, keyword looking for it to go bullish at this level. I like this pattern, and this volume profile just screams bullish to me. All the volume, I'm just looking at the volume down there. Good looking 15-minute chart. Where would I be interested in bullish? If we can make a new higher high and a higher low tomorrow, like above 301, I might day trade that one bullish. If some of you are looking at swing trading it, right? So here's the higher low, a little bit of resistance right there. It looks pretty good. It would be obviously a short-term bullish swing. A gap up would be stellar. I agree with Ben. And again, if anybody wants to buy any shares of Lockheed Martin at a discount, you could consider a 290 put sale, and you'd probably go with it on a short-term time frame. Lockheed Martin July 285 for July pays about 1%. I'm not going to do that trade. Don't really want to own Lockheed Martin. Don't really care. Can't be in everything. That's just my opinion. You got the 100 there. It's asking a little bit of support. I think we're in line for a little bit of a bounce on Lockheed Martin just for a few days, because this is where all the newbies hopped on bearish. This was when it got confirmed for them, when it took out that support, rather than just breaking this support over here. Okay, that's Lockheed Martin. And if you are in bearish, Ben, I would just say the 100 on the weekly, about 290 on LMT. Not you, but just anyone else. Disney, DIS, Disney, chilling. So again, we're talking very solid, some huge volume come in, and there was a lot of really good charts on Disney. I think Brian Weber posted some over the weekend, if I recall correctly. And I think he was going to go in either bullish here with a pop above or get in on a pullback. I was like, which one? I'm going to set both up. I think that's what he did. So it is pulling back. Again, I love this volume. Tons and tons of good bullish volume on Disney. Will it bounce? You know, that's the game show that everybody wants to watch in the stock market. Here's the long-term moving averages. And again, those will be a little bit useful. So they're around 103. If you're looking at playing a bounce on Disney, that's probably where it would bounce if it's going to. It's still very sideways. If I'm in shares of Disney, wow. So you got the 100 on the daily and the weekly right in front of your face. Interesting. Well, if I zoom into an hourly, so there's both of them there. Oh, well, and the 200 on the hourly? Jeepers creepers. Well, I mean, really, you got your Morningstar-esque pattern right here, a little upper shadow. So if it breaks above there, it's a retest gap. You can at least scalp it for a few points, back up into this resistance level, and then maybe it double bottoms and you play it long. It's probably what would make sense on Disney. But standing in line right now, waiting for this thing to move, I would just say that's the best I got. Otherwise, just let it keep chopping around. Okay, next on the list, we have Vail, but this is not like the ski resort Vail. This is the other one. VALE, daily charts, trade to the 200. Interesting. Okay, that makes sense. That's the first time it's hit it. And I know last time, you know, there was no way to know that it would have bounced off the 200. You know, there's no previous support levels or anything that could have given you an idea to buy there. It did hit there again. I don't have any position on this one. Just looking at it for whoever requested this one. There is some support down here, and it is a nice little lower shadow. Prior day, inside day. Yep, yesterday. So down to the 200. Here's the weekly. Let me just look at this weekly chart, see what we're doing. Okay, so it's near the 50. So if you did play Vail, I'd give it a little bit of wiggle room. It's a bearish candle, right? So it's a black hammer-ish candle. So I'd probably get in, and I have a stop. I mean, really below here, 1189. So I'd enter here, stop here, and then after about a week or two, see what it does, move the stop up to there, lose 0.7 Rs, and trade it up into here. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I'm not going to take that trade personally, can't be in everything, but that's the analysis I got on Vail for whoever requested that one. Here's Expedia. Expedia. EXPE. Expedia, what a gap and go. Oh my goodness. Hit the 100 on the weekly. Why am I looking at the weekly right now? I just didn't know what this chart was doing. I haven't looked at Expedia in a while. I just want to see generally where it was at. And it's at the 200. You know, I do like the move. Looking at this angle, it's almost unquestionable to me with this gap and go right here on Expedia. And that we just hit that 100 on a weekly, I'd be looking to short this thing. You do have a nice little lower shadow today. So whoever's playing Expedia, my thought process, let today be an inside day candle, or tomorrow. And if it closes below or gaps below this 121.64 range, it'd be a very short, yep, right at the 20. Quick play down into that 50 EMA. You'd probably play this on the 15 or the hourly. Again, not saying this is going to happen, but if Expedia tomorrow, you're looking at playing it, opens right here, I'm shorting that with my eyes closed. Stop is right there, and then just trade down to that 50. So remember, I mean, when you're looking at this in the afternoon room, even my day traders, you can take some quick notes of what could be gapping, and it takes about 7 seconds to look through them. You know, so if we gap down tomorrow, it should be nice. Thomas says, thoughts on likelihood of a market relief rally tomorrow? A few months ago, big rallies followed big drops. Yeah, I think it's very possible, actually, Thomas. I could see us being up 1% tomorrow. No problem. Up 1% tomorrow and then down another 1% Wednesday. Yeah. SFIX, Stitch Fitch. Everyone bought the breakout, unfortunately. Man. Again, breakouts are great when the pressure is building and a bunch of people haven't been profitable in a while. This thing went from 18 to 30. 70% growth in 2 weeks. Oh, yeah, I'm going to buy right here. So you got a one black crow on Stitch Fix. And let it trade down, chop around. Yeah, we'll come back to this one later at some point. Let it trade down, chop around. Maybe we trade it around 24. I'll put it on the list for Thursday. Nothing really exciting on Stitch Fix right now. Could be a good breakout at some level, though. I'm going that slow, huh? Ram says, what will be a good short setup on Stitch Fix? I don't think there is one. Walmart. So WMT. Here is the daily chart, and Walmart slowly drifting higher. So today is Merchant Monday, and that's why we're looking at Walmart. We talked about Walmart on Wednesday of last week and Thursday of last week, kind of discussing to keep your eyes out for this. There's Mr. Squiggles' handiwork right there. And ladies and gentlemen, that's solid. Didn't play that, right? It's okay. But we could figure out how we would have played it, right? And again, last week when we looked at Walmart, that was based entirely on this candle and the volume of that candle, a little bit of a bearish candle right there, and then it just broke above. Because you made a higher low relative to that low right here. So we made a higher low. We were at support. We were at a place that we bounced previously. So again, even if you're trading the hourly, this is a good trade. I mean, you could zoom into that and play that one nicely. It all started, if you guys, again, go back and look at those recordings, it all started just from 2 or 3 of these candles. The one that caught my attention, that volume spike right there, this candle right here, and the fact that it made a higher low. That was it. Those are the 3 things that I used to determine that Walmart could pop. It obviously had a really nice move today. I didn't trade it, camping everything, but I'm sure someone did make that move, and congratulations if you got a chance to snag a little bit of move on Walmart. Some of you have Walmart shares long-term, and that's, it's Walmart. I heard they make revenue from time to time. Weekly moving averages, you're about to run into a little bit. So you're going to get a little bit of a pullback on Walmart. It's been very choppy, but yeah, kind of looks like a double bottom on a weekly. This would be pretty much approximately the level that you'd be looking at playing a wave, buy the dip, wave 4 type of structure on Walmart. It's an ugly wave 4, but it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, some kind of wave 5. Then it just comes down to your time frame. That's my thoughts on Walmart. Next on the list is IQ. And IQ, watch this one all morning long for a day trade. All morning long. Never took one, never got triggered in. Here's the 5-minute chart. This thing was just trapping folks all day. But guess who's watching it tomorrow and who has 2 thumbs? this guy. Watch IQ tomorrow for sure to continue lower. Because if I turn on the extended hours, it just held that support. Oh yeah, it's just going to slowly roll over after hours. It held this support all day. First 5-minute candle, it held all day. And it's just going to slowly, yeah, IQ is going to dump tomorrow. So just watch it for a day trade or a quick swing. The reason I'm saying that is because I drew my little line, right, Mr. Squiggles. It was supposed to bounce off the 20. The biggest challenge is it gapped over the 20. So I canceled my order at the 20 because obviously it didn't get there Friday. And that's a very bullish candle, and it gapped below it. I think IQ pulls back nicely. Now, some of us have some put sales for July. I think it does make it to the 50, and I'll try to buy the dip off of there with some put sales as well as some shares or longer term calls, day trade it lower. This is just the thing is, here's the reason I really think IQ is also going to go lower. Guess what the number one stock was mentioned in the conference over the weekend? Another great reason to go to these things, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to what everyone's talking about and go to the opposite. I know it sounds terrible, but I was just we were walking through the cafeteria on a lunch break, and you hear table after table, oh man, IQ, this is the time to buy. It's pulling back. And I'm like, I mean, dude, it just went up 100%. It's going to go higher. It's a brand new IPO. People are going to be locking in profit. Anyway, so yeah, I think it's going to go a little bit lower. A lot of you have the put sales. I really do not mind owning at 20. Now, I had a dream the other day. I'm going to scare a little bit of you. I'm probably wrong. What time is it? 4:52. Type in a 1 if you guys are okay with me going a little bit long today. I don't want to upset anybody. Okay. No one's going to care. Here's your homework for the night. I put in a lot of work doing this. Here's what I got. Go to BABA. IPO. I think that's what IQ is going to do. Some level of that. So if you go to BABA, so your homework for the night, for anyone who wants, I don't know, to become a better trader, make money consistently, go to BABA's IPO and back trade it. Because I think this is what IQ is pretty much going to do. I mean, you have some similarities, right? Went from 84 to 120. So this one pulled back to the 20 and bounce, and then it kind of bounced off the 50 and ended up breaking a little bit lower. So you're going to make a little bit of money, but back trade this, and I think it'll kind of give you an idea of what IQ will do. The difference and the way we'll know if it's not is once we start interacting with that 50 and we make a new high and we make new highs and new lows. So BABA never did that. And I will admit, I thought it would. When I was first trading, when we traded BABA, this is the launch. Real life trading went live right here. BABA was my first big winner of real life trading. For those who were here the very opening day one, not a lot of you, but there are some of you here, BABA, that was my IQ back in 2014. So very similar. People are like, really? You're going to go bullish on BABA? It's just IPOing. I'm like, look at this gap. Look at this morning stars above all moving averages. I mean, we crushed that thing. And then over here, we played some bearish. We played it really well. We had fun with BABA. When I started throwing my hands there going, okay, I have really no idea what's going to happen, is right about there. Once this occurred, I said, hey, guys, I don't know what BABA's doing. Give it a little bit of time. And then when the trade came down to here, you know, we played it bullish a little bit. And then this was the candle right there. This one, I was like, okay, cool, guys. As long as it holds this level, BABA will go higher. I was like, that's the only level we need to care about for the rest of your, you know, grown adult days on BABA for the next few. Okay, we're done. So once it broke down in July, that's when we were like, okay, guys, officially, I don't know what's going on with BABA, but it's going to retest and go lower. And there she goes. Beautiful trends, beautiful retest, beautiful fail lower. We made some good money on that bearish move as well. But anyway, I think that there's a solid chance that IQ can do something like that. But here's the good news. What did BABA end up doing? Here's the weekly. Right? So if IQ does something like that, I think they will. Right now I'm trying to find a duplicate pattern on BABA and place on IQ, and we can see some similarities. So anyway, that's my take. That's what I'm thinking. If you will do your homework, go back, trade BABA's IPO level, and that's how I'm going to personally approach IQ. It's going to be very based off the 50. Okay, next is Dropbox. So we are in a swing trade on Dropbox, and it did hold up relatively okay for most of the day. Our stop is forever away on this thing. I'm giving it a lot of room. If we get stopped on Dropbox, here's what's going to happen. Because this is a volatile monster. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to get stopped out. We're going to throw a bunch of watermelons out of a bunch of 4-story windows, feel better about ourselves. It's going to go lower, and then I'm going to get back in. All right? I'm planning for the future now already. So if we get stopped out on Dropbox, certainly plausible. Don't want it to, but if it happens, I'm going to get back in when it makes a new low. Not immediately, like not that exact day, but I'll be watching it down here. Because that way, everyone will be trapped, right? All the bulls will be trapped. Anyone who shorts will be trapped. Anyone who does this trade will be trapped. Everyone will be nice and trapped. No one will have any idea what's going on. And that's probably, makes sense to me. Now, what if Dropbox has a beautiful day tomorrow? That's what I'm hoping for. Hey, at least we didn't buy at 44, because I saw more than one newsletter that was like buy at 42, buy at 43. JL says, mental note, don't invest in stocks with the word drop in their name. Pretty much. Yeah, well, we'll find out, but if that continues to happen, then you might be right. So anyway, that's Dropbox. That's kind of my plan. The other one that we have, which is also not looking good, is Pivotal. Now, obviously, it's time to move up our stop on that one. So original stop, 22.92. So this was the setup. PVTL, 22.92. All right, that's it. So let's take the stop on this one and just put it below here. Some of you are already out. Totally okay. Some of you took your profits. I can appreciate that, respect that immensely. I'm going to look at maybe doing an add and reduce. If you're not in on Pivotal, you could also consider this. However, I want an inside day, and then I might add and reduce if possible, which means add to my position and still lose less than an R. Yeah, I'm game for that. So we can increase our stop. Increase stop on PVTL. Okay, come over here to the journal, which you guys all have access to this, right? As of now. Should be in your welcome packet. Increasing stop. Michael says, yep, all right. So moved up our stop on Pivotal. And I'll come back to this one tomorrow. PVTL. Some of you are asking about, I'm going to put all these on the list for tomorrow. So some of you are asking about some new ones. I'll put those on the list for tomorrow. So just keep tabs. Ralph Lauren, we're going to end up playing it at one point. It did hit the 50 today. So I'm going to put Ralph Lauren on the list for tomorrow. I want like an inside day candle. The reason I will buy off of moving average, no questions asked, as long as there's not a blisteringly, interestingly bearish gap like we got the other day and this day right here. So if it does gap down like that into an average, I usually wait one more day because there's no harm in waiting. You're not going to lose money. I love this bullish gap. Ralph Lauren is a little bit more pricier anyway. So we'll just come back. We'll look at it tomorrow. It is off the 50. I do like it. We'll just see what she does. Camping World, CWH still looks pretty good, actually. I kind of like Camping World. The biggest challenge for me is going to be just really risk reward on Camping World. So I'm going to put the stop right here. We're going to come back to this one also tomorrow. So we've been waiting and planning on this one for like 3 or 4 days in a row. And I'm ready to take a breakout if we get it. I like today's candle. I don't really want it to break the low of this candle to do a limit buy. And if it does take out that low, we're going to do a limit buy later. I'm basing all of this off of this gap. Now, on the 15-minute chart, again, pretty decent little lower shadow today. Relatively good volume. Okay, it's 15-minute. Let me look at the hourly. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. All right, we'll keep waiting. Keep waiting on Camping World. Come back to it tomorrow. See what she looks like. BILI. Billy down 7%. So I talked about this one yesterday being Friday, saying, hey, maybe you can go bullish off this little candle. It's at the 50, could form into a morning star. Again, the reason I'm not going to buy it blindly off the 50 is we have a bearish gap down today, and today has a little bit of a lower shadow. So if it just breaks this low, everything should be good. Neil, nope, this one was not brought up at all. No one talked about this one, to my knowledge. Now they're in the same industry. They're very, very similar. So one will do what both do most likely. However, I like the potential of this forming a morning star around the 50. We're going to come back to this one again tomorrow and see what we can do, because I'm definitely down to play some setups after this pullback. CLPS, we're going to put on the list for like Friday or something. It had a perfect inside day candle. I wanted it to bounce. Hasn't bounced yet, so we're really retesting quite nicely. So this is a brand new IPO. I'm just going to kind of keep waiting on. And again, we talked about this one in depth. The reason we waited, just because it went from $4 to $16. That's 400% growth. That says there's a little bit of a lower shadow. I mean, you think it's going to go lower. No, but the challenge is if you do get a little bit of a lower shadow and it breaks that shadow's low. For example, on CLPS, if it takes out the low of that wick, it's going to go lower because people are buying right there. So if it takes out that wick, it's going to definitely hit the 10 and then probably pull in somewhere into there. So that's what CLPS is going to do, most likely. I can add one more to the list, and then we'll look at it. Ram says IPO and tech sectors only. I can look at any IPO. These are the only ones that kind of came across, the ones that are looking interesting. Universal Display. I know Scott McKay is out of this one. This one's just getting shredded to bits. I mean, going from 200 to 81. Jeepers creepers. That is insulting to the bullish traders. Wow, looks like it's going to 74.65. That's a pretty decent little bearish trend right there, too. I mean, you got some rollovers, you got some breakdowns. Breakdown. Come on and give it to me. Let's see if this one can pull back on OLED. I might play another bearish trade, even though I'm like 0 for 6 with bearish swing trades. At some point, it might have to work. Ram says, read a list of IPO and other sectors. You can just Google it. Finviz is a really good scanner. Don says IPO Scoop has lists. Yeah, Yeah, opportunities are definitely not lacking. That's for sure. Ram says, thanks. Oh, my pleasure. Anything for you, my man. Equifax, EFX, down 1%. Okay. Equifax still looks interesting. This could be a breakout I could get behind. I'll put that on the list for Friday. It's not going to do anything between now and then. Equifax. If you are a gunslinger and you want to play Equifax bullish in a channel, like an hourly channel, it is shaping up. So here's the hourly chart, and if it pulls down into the 123 area and you're looking at playing it bullish, go for it. Just know your time frames, know your skill sets, you know what you're looking for. If it gets down to that support, go long. FC says, why not bearish? Double top. It's not a double top yet. It has to close below here, right? So that's the thing, FC. If you trade into a support, everyone's always bearish at support. That's why no one ever gets in at support. Most traders make that mistake. Go bullish first, or if you're not going to go bullish, wait for it to close below that support, and then play the retest if you're going to take the double top. Yeah. Because if it's out of support, what if it's not a double top? What if it just does this? I mean, we've all seen that move before. So it's hard to break that. I know it's really, really tough, but it's important, man. Important skill. Just that seeing a support and just want to buy there rather than short there. It takes a lot of work. Applied optoelectronics going down a little bit more into the 50. Where's that long-term moving average? Long terms. So this one did break that support. So if I go to the hourly chart, FC, what's interesting about this one is, yeah, I mean, it closed right below 40.76. So it closed below that support. That's the thing. So if we're looking at AAY, here's the support level. Try to draw this again. Something like this. And someone made money right there playing that bounce. And then it did have a double top right here. Now it's at the 200 on the simple. So could it bounce off of here? Absolutely. I'm going to watch AAY very closely tomorrow. Because that pennant pattern right here, cute little pennant on the 200 on the hourly. I usually don't use the 200 on the hourly. That's a beautiful pennant pattern. Oh, more, gee, oh. And on the daily chart, you again had a big run up. That's the other thing you have to consider sometimes. Is you had this, here's the wave 3, so this is some kind of wave 4. Good close. I like this. This looks nice. This is a new black crow as well. Snapdragons. Yeah, I mean, as far as risk reward, we probably just flashed down into here somewhere. 36.03. I mean, as far as an actual swing trade, maybe I can look at one tomorrow. I'll write it in the morning. We'll see. We'll just see what she looks like. But make sure to watch out for a day trade, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, the other one was AOI, looking at it for a trader out there who's new to real life trading. And this one's interesting because it has a lot of volume. A lot of volume yesterday, a little bit of a one white soldier at a support level. So here's Alliance 1. So it did trade down to a support. I don't have any position in this one, but if I did, my stop would be right here. And that would probably be where I would, if I was in some shares, I'd probably get stopped out of them. You had a pretty nice little breakdown around this support, 23.95. Weekly is just very sideways. John, I see. Okay, gotcha. So, weekly chart, super, super sideways. long-term moving averages, you're at a very, very pivotal spot. Super pivotal. So I wouldn't sell here if I had shares. Again, I don't, but if I did, I wouldn't. You could certainly have a stop for some, if not all. I don't think AAOI has options, which means you can't buy any kind of protective puts or sell any covered calls, which is lame. Yeah, man. Okay, I'll keep coming back on this one and keep you posted. Just let me know how often you want me to look at it. But let's keep an eye out for a bounce, hopefully on AOI. SJM has actually a pretty decent bullish gap today. I like this gap a lot on Schmuckers. And we're going to look to see if we can day trade this one, or sorry, swing trade this one. Yeah, I just want to just buy this pullback. We might do this. Might be the weekly options newsletter. It's a little bit expensive, SJM is. It's a little on the pricey side as far as shares go. Should we do options or shares? Options or shares? Oh, boy. Wow. This could also be just a good investing spot. I'm not going to do it personally, but Granny says options. Look at that, off the 100 on the monthly. Oh, how did I miss that? Matt, that's your fault, man, for you not being here. You should have been in the room weeks ago. If I was going to buy SJM, it would have been right there to eat clear 100. FC says target about 120. That would be great. Earnings are over. I mean, you could play this one with options or shares. I'm going to put a little bit of time on the bones on this option trade. SJM, so we could do July or we could do August. Or we could even do October. I'd probably go August. So what is this? 105 call option. And let me put this over here. Mike says, I watched it on crash on E, then retraced 3 days, which was sick. Yeah, I bet. I bet. All right, limit buy, stop loss. I mean, it's a good gap. We might not even get this pullback. Man, options on SJM are pathetic. Ugh. Oh, it's a 40-cent spread. 20% of my profits is going to go right to the spread. Can't do it. Can't do it. I'm going to have to do the shares. Now, we might not pull back, but if we trade sideways a lot on this one, this is a pretty solid gap. You can just keep running. Granny says yes or no. No on an option for me because it's too spready. The bid ask, it's a 40-cent bid and ask spread, which is too much. It's only $108 a share. Again, remember, folks, you could, again, $200 R, $100 R, $50 R, buy a little bit of shares. It doesn't require, being that many. And then 104.96, which is just $2 of risk. It's a good setup based on cap and go, open because it's not triggered yet. Corey says, when you buy an option, do you just not set a limit so you don't have to worry about the bid? Correct, but what about when you get out, Corey? Craig says, what's your definition of spready? On an option, for me, it's anything more than 1% of stock value. So 1% of SJM is $1. Right? And the spread's 40 cents. So it's 0.4% of the stock value. It's high for an option. Corey says, did the spread to stay like that through the life of the option? On certain stocks, yes. Yep. Because that's the challenge with options is great as an instrument as they are. Now again, you can make money off options. You are correct. You could do a limit buy. So for example, I mean, if you want, I'll give you guys the numbers for the trade. You would buy probably at about $5 on the ask. Stop would be about $3. But if you get stopped out, you might get filled. If you have a stop at market, you might get filled at like 270. And you'd buy the 105 August call. So if you're better at options than I am, which many people are, then yeah, you could certainly do it. But that's the challenge with options is, I mean, you're going to lose 10%. So 10% of your purchase price is going to go right to the spread. I don't know, man. I just love stock. It just makes so much sense to me. Plus, it's Smuckers. So what we get to do is if we make some money on this trade, we get to celebrate by eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And everybody likes PB&J. Here's the question. Are you a weirdo and you like creamy peanut butter? Or are you a normal human and you like crunchy? That's the biggest question that needs to be answered. Square. Neil says, I'm a weirdo. Square with the pullback. We were talking about the pullback. Mentioned wait for the pullback. And it did come down to the 20. So could Square bounce here? Absolutely. Am I playing Square on the bounce? Not yet. Not yet. Let me just wait for the market a day or two. Is it an uncomfortable spot to buy? Yes, but really remember the challenge is I already play Square long term anyway. So for me to play it short term, it's usually a day trade or an options trade or something. That's just me, right? It's just me personally. There's certainly some people trapped who bought off the hourly. I do think it retests and probably goes a little bit lower. So again, based on the gap in the volume, that's how you kind of depict things. Is there's just a lot of people trapped on this situation. So covered call at 75. Julian's and bearish with some protective puts. I think Square goes down a smidge lower, probably to like 58, 59. And how do I think that? I mean, again, guys, I'm just looking at the trend. I mean, it's just nothing goes up forever, not even Square. And you had a gap up right here into an all-time high, and then it gapped up, an evening star reversal pattern. Yeah, I say 58. Until it gets there, I'm just going to wait on Square. Micron Technology. So Micron Technology was a blisteringly obvious bearish day trade today. I don't know about you guys, but I had heard reports that there was a certain bird who played this rotation and this rollover on Micron today. That bird only had one wing that worked, only one singular eye, had a cinder block strapped to his foot, and was able to day trade that move on Micron. This is the classic, this is perfect retest. You got a high wave candle. As soon as you see this candle right there, your entry is already in. Set up, let's go. Once you see this white candle here, you know for sure you like it even more. Once you see this candle, you like it even more, and then you're in. And then you tell it, all right, I want you to break the low of the day. Sure, it takes about 30, 40 minutes to break the low of the day, and you make 2 R's, and that's that. Now, if you're like Ricky, he made 4 R's on Micron Technology, but, very few people are actually not human. Most of us are human beings, but Ricky is not. He's half Android. It did trade down to the 100. That was my target that I called at open. And I got this put sale for July at $44 on Micron Technology. Last but not, I got 2 more I need to look at. ZS, there it goes. It's here. Very pretty S curve. So Julian's in. I mean, this is a gorgeous pattern. Is it going to work? Who knows? No idea. But this is not as bearish as some of the other ones. You got a good pullback. Things look nice. It's all pretty. So ZS, gorgeous. And WIN. So I just want to update you all on WIN. I did exit the unravel. I know a lot of you were following my WIN bull put spread, and we are fully out. So I started talking about unraveling that one on this day, and I didn't do that unravel until this day. And then I got out today. So that was it. Solid win. Today was a 7.3 R day for me, folks. Thanks to WIN. This was after losing 1 R on AMAT at open. I lost an R on AMAT. I'll give you some more specifics, but WIN was a big portion of that. It was a big reason I won so big today, but you know, HubSpot also helped. We had Google. We're in Google bearish with our bear call spread, and Google just got raked over the coals for most of the day. So if anything, I can buy back that spread at some point if I need to, but 12.20 is pretty far away at this point. Peter says, congrats. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was lucky. Today was luck. Don't think today was skills. I day traded pretty well today, I feel like, but there was, you know, a lot that it just happened to be that way. All you need to do is just have one of these days when you're day trading, and that's it. So tomorrow is Tech Giant Tuesday. I already have a decent list, and let's go check them out. These are the ones that we're talking about tomorrow. Berkshire looks weak. Pandora, Boeing, GES, Pivotal Software, Ralph Lauren, Camping World, Bilibili, OLED, Roku, CGC, IQ again, SOGO again, URI, HEAR, NVIDIA, of course, Apple, Facebook, Google, Netflix, Amazon, Goldman Sachs. Bob was on the list. Okay, it's a solid list for tomorrow. I probably won't go long tomorrow. I just need to go. I mean, there was a lot to happen today, and I don't think anyone's upset that I went long. So I still have yet had one email ever. Newsom, you went too long, man. Why was class so long? Why are you giving us so much good trade stubs? Yeah, no one's been mad. Ferdinand was mad, though. Ferdinand was mad because he made so much money today. He still couldn't get his eye replaced, and his wing is still broken. All right, folks. You guys rock. We'll see you tomorrow. And until next time, love life, live life, trade. Bye.